A whole horde of people have arrived in the studio. Good evening. Good evening. John, if you'd like to sit directly in front of me, and Patrick, if you'd like to wander round to that microphone over there. I was getting a little worried about you guys, actually. Thought you weren't going to make it.
We were listening to on the radio coming down.
Yeah.
It was, should we put these on?
Yeah,
Okay.
In fact, what I was going to say was, if you'd like to take some telephone calls from our listener, from my mum, they'll ask, we'll sort of sort out the questions. Please, when you ring up on 388-1255, don't ask what colour socks they were. Let's make it an intelligent one.
I know.
So if you'd like to ring up now, the lines in fact are open, or will be in about 5 minutes, I believe, when the operator gets in there. Give us a ring on 388-1255. Anyway, welcome, John and Patrick.
Thank you.
It's the first time that you, in fact, have been here, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because Chris has been here once.
Yeah.
A couple of times. Tell you what, I'd like to play a track from Time and a Word while we get ourselves sorted out here, and then we'll come back and have a bit of a chat, all right? Yeah. I always love that end.
Yeah.
Beautiful end. No opportunity, no experience, etc. I always get it the wrong way around, so that's the way I'm going to say it. And as I said before, welcome to Capital Studios. The thing that I read today in the music papers is that the tour is going amazingly well, that all the critics, if you actually listen to the critics, have been saying nice things about the tour. From your point of view, has that in fact been the case?
The audiences have been marvellous.
John, could you get nearer that mic? Would you mind?
Sure.
Thanks.
Just
it's directional.
curve.
Yeah, it's been going well.
Yeah, it's been marvellous to get back on the road in England and play in good places that are good to put the show on. The kind of places that are good for the show, and the more theatre kind of places. And we've really enjoyed the audience's reaction to us. And we really enjoyed just playing, getting on the road and playing together,
Yeah. Because one of the criticisms that I think Yes have been criticised for, that's bad English, but one of the criticisms has always been that technically you've been brilliant. The playing has always been brilliant, but it was a bit surgical. Obviously you've heard that criticism.
Yeah.
And the critics are now saying, people are now saying, but now they've got a soul.
It's a difficult question, obviously. We've always tried to play openly on stage and as well as we can. If it came over as being clinical, I think that was possibly that critic's feeling for that evening, and he just felt that was what he got from us, really. We've always had a good rapport with the audiences, and I always enjoyed working with audiences and playing to them. When we did Topographic on the last English tour, we had just a couple of uneasy nights, and it just happened that one of the uneasy nights was Tuesday opening night at the Rainbow. The following nights at the Rainbow were really exciting for us and for the audience too, it seemed, and they went on to Oxford and Manchester, Liverpool, and the reaction was tremendous. They were as willing to listen to what we were trying to do as we were hoping to portray with Topographic, which was possibly a little bit of a difficult piece of music to perform totally. Yeah. It was a venture to get into, that was all.
Yeah. Patrick, from your point of view, this is your first British tour with the band. How's it been going for you? Because obviously, a new guy comes in and the audience is going to go, is he as good as Wakeman?
Well, it's been going really, I'm sorry to say always the same thing. John said it was fantastic, and I can only say it is fantastic, the way it goes, and the feeling we all have to play all together, and it's really, it's going amazingly well. And the audience, I had played a few places before with the band. I was before Refugee, and now, I never had any doubt that I would be accepted by the audiences because
of Refugee.
Not only that, but John and Steve and Chris and Alan have made up their mind, and I don't think they ever make that many mistakes, and so on. And they knew who they were engaging in the band, and I know what I was going up to, and if I hadn't felt I would do the job better than right, I wouldn't have accepted it,
How did John and the band come to make the overtures to you to actually join on Waitman's departure?
Well, I mean, it's a very long story. It's very fragmented, actually, And I mean, to go into further details about that would be very probably a bit tedious for the people to hear, because
just a sort of a pre-seed version.
Well, probably somebody recommended eventually me to the band, and I mean, a sort of rumor spread, and as I said, it was very fragmented and over a few weeks probably. And one day Brian Lane phoned me up. I was just back from Switzerland at that time, and he said, would you like to come to see a rehearsal from the band? He didn't make any offer or anything, and there I came. And that rehearsal blew my mind, So it's really extraordinary, yeah.
Okay, well that's the pre-seed version, great. Good evening, you're listening to Capital. We'll be taking calls from you if you'd like to talk to either John or Patrick. 01388 1255 is the number, and we'll be taking the calls after the 10 o'clock news. You must be very pleased with the success of yesterday's, which has been
extremely
enormous around the world.
Very surprising.
Sometimes those sort of old retrospective looks at a band tend to not sell as well as a contemporary album from the band. This one seems to have done equally as well as any other.
Yeah, generally when Yes Songs was released, it was I thought that it would sell to the people that do enjoy the band and will put in their collection, as with Yesterday's. But it seems that it makes people go out and tentatively try to listen to Yes in a different light.
Yeah.
Yes Song sold extremely well, and Yesterday's are selling very well. So it possibly gives them a little insight to the development of the band in the early days.
Well, let's hear one of those tracks from Yesterday's. This is Survival. After the 10 o'clock news, we'll be taking your calls. Remember, the number to ring is 01388 1255. We'll see you after the 10 o'clock news. That's what I really want to know.
I'll talk about that afterwards.
Listening to your music, as I have done over the years, it's got more and more complicated, as presumably you've got more and more au fait with studio techniques, and Eddie Offord, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about Eddie Offord a little later. As that thought
I'd like to talk about Eddie Offord.
Thought crossed my mind. We'll talk about Edward a little later. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah. So as you've got more sort of complicated in your music and it's got a lot more structured, how much more difficult has it got to actually produce or reproduce that music on stage, as you're going to do on Saturday at QPR?
Well, hopefully you set about to write an album and put an album together with the idea of performing it on stage as a development from times when you could be on stage and write music and play it on stage without it being recorded. It isn't the case anymore. It's a question of spending 4 months of the year producing a piece of music and then putting it on stage, and hopefully you try to get it better on stage. You try to capture what you've learned from creating the music. Whereas if you were playing it on stage before you recorded it, you would probably find more out about it before you actually recorded it. But as we work the way we work, and we do enjoy working the way we work, it comes out as a definite thing to try and recapture it, the music on stage, and hopefully gain more out of the music as you play it every night, every tour. Hopefully, gets better.
When we see you on Saturday at Queen's Park Rangers, do you think that we're going to notice when we listen to the music that the numbers, the standards, have changed and have grown because you've been playing them on stage now, Patrick?
Certainly, if you hear, for example, I can talk especially about Relaya, because I've been helping to create the album in the studio. But obviously, you will know.
Has that changed a lot on stage now for you?
Well, the reproduction of the sound and the mood of the music is the same, but it's improved a lot since we've been playing it on stage. Now it's the second tour we played, and it's probably much more flowing and much more funky in a way. And the sounds are the same, and probably the feeling is more intense even, because we've been talking a lot about it and we've tried to improve it, as John said.
All right. Well, I've chatted enough. I think it's time for you out there to have a chat. Remember, 013881255 is the telephone number, and we'll be taking the first call from Steve in just a minute. Good evening. You're listening to Capital, and Your Mother Wouldn't Like It with John Anderson and Patrick Moraz in the studio. And Steve, you're on the telephone. Good evening. Great. Good evening, Steve. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Steve. Steve, are you there? Oh, certainly. I'll try one more time. Hello, Steve. Boring. Is anyone else there on the telephone?
Jim?
Sounds like the Jimmy Young show, doesn't it? Oh, well, no. Steve, we'll sort out our telephone wires and come back to you, all right? Oh, well, sorry about that. What do you say? The engineers are looking as worried as I am at the moment. Yeah, as I was saying, let's talk about Eddie, because obviously he appears to be a great influence on the actual production sound that you have, obviously. And I heard a report from a gentleman that works here called Phil Mead that on the board, yes, I'll find. Someone's just told me that I had my switch wrong. What was I going to say?
Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie. That on one of the gigs that he was doing with you up north somewhere, there was like a half a second of feedback, and he came up to you guys at the end of the gig and said, "How dare you! Half a second of feedback."
Oh, is
he really like that?
Well, we get very attuned to wanting to perform the music well, and feedback can be very difficult at times, especially when it's quiet. So if there is any feedback knocking around, we always look at Eddie as he comes off stage, and he's always willing to accept that it was possibly his fault, But Eddie, for me, has got a certain magic, and that comes out on the albums we make. He can really get it for the band, And on stage, he really reproduces a very good sound.
How much of an influence is he
on a music?
When you actually get in that studio?
He's more a sound kind of man. We rely on him for creating the sound, and we back him up with ideas, and we will push him as he will push us at times. But on a musical level, he's always helpful at times, because he'll sit back and let things formulate, and then he'll put in a couple of opinions as the music develops. But he's more the guy that gets the sound together for us, and really helps immensely.
All right, let's try Steve again. The engineers have been plugging things, and I've got my switch in the right position. Steve, are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
Congratulations. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Who would you like to talk to?
Can I speak to John, please?
Yes, of course.
Hello, Steve.
Far away.
Hello, John.
All right.
Great to hear you.
Good.
Well, my main question is that, I've been looking through all the music papers, reading all the reports on the tour, and I noticed that you've got a film out which is called Yes Song, but it didn't state when it was supposed to be released in London.
No, I don't think it's going to be released in London at all. But what we are doing, we're going to be filming Saturday's concert, hopefully to show that on Old Grey Whistle Test. Bob's gig.
Oh, Bob's.
Sorry?
When will it be shown on the Old Grey Whistle?
I think it's
any idea?
July.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it will be July. But Yes Songs is the film that we made at the Rainbow, which was shown on that programme
Yeah.
about a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
And possibly they might do a rerun. You never know.
Oh, I hope so. Anyway, good luck with the gig on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve.
And it'll be a good day, you know. I'll be there myself.
Okay,
It should be quite nice.
we're all keeping our fingers crossed for a
All
good
the
day.
best to Patrick and wish him all the luck, you know.
Okay, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Steve, thanks for calling. Cheers. If only Capital had a TV programme.
Soon. You never know.
Here we go again. Ben, are you there? Hello? Hello, Ben? Let's blow it out. Hello, Ben? No chance. Oh, well, we seem to be having a few slight technical difficulties. If you're hanging on and you've been told you're going to go on the air, we might have a few problems because we're a little late with everything tonight. As I said, I wanted to play a track from Close to the Edge. So, how about a bit of Siberian... How do you pronounce it? What?
Hatu.
Hatu.
Yeah. It's Yemen. For As You Wish.
I see. That's a bit of Siberian Hatu. Is that right?
You know.
Fair enough. Right. Now I'm going to try the phones one more time, so keep everything crossed. Ben, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, great. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, actually. Yourself?
Yes, I just wanted to ask one question mainly. I'm from the States, as you probably gather.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if John could tell me what region of the States has the most demanding crowds at a concert. In his opinion, of course.
That's very, very difficult. I was, as far as audiences are concerned, they are very different all around the States. They're all enjoyable. So it's very difficult to pinpoint any specific place that we haven't enjoyed playing. Maybe the first time we haven't been too happy, but the second time we've always seemed to come back and enjoyed ourselves as the audiences seem to have done.
But do you think you enjoy the crowds in the States as much as you enjoy the crowds in England?
Anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Ben?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Are you going to be at the gig on Saturday?
Oh, I doubt it.
Oh. Oh,
I'm not
well.
going to be able to make it.
Well, anyway, thanks for calling up.
All right, cheers.
Okay, take it easy. Obviously, one of the things that must come into it is as I say to most of the people that come in here in groups of your sort of stature, that when you play in a gig in London or a gig in England, that it is fundamentally different from playing any other gig in the world, because the venues are different in the States. I mean, they're much bigger. You've got...
I think we relate as a group more to the musical performance rather than... obviously they're different. You know, every gig is different. We just played in Bristol, and we had a great 3 days there, and 2 days before that we played in Cardiff, and the audience in Cardiff was a lot more excitable than they were in Bristol, but as far as we were concerned, we just want to go up there and play our music as well as we can.
Okay. I'd like to talk after a quick break about Topographic Oceans, which was really a crossroads in many ways for the band. We'll talk about Topographic and play a little bit of it after we hear from this. Pretty much about all we've got time for on that particular track. It's Remembering from Tales from Topographic Oceans. You were saying that was the second take, that bit we just played.
Rick's solo, and we laid the foundation down, which was a kind of C going chords, and Rick popped in and started playing a kind of feeling towards it, and in the second take it just seemed that he he accomplished what we set out to do, was not to be very forceful, but to try and make it very spacey. And it was always an enjoyable piece of music to play on stage, as was doing the old event of putting, as it was, 80 minutes worth of music on stage at once.
Yeah.
It's always a delicate time, you know. The strength was there to do it. And it was, as you say, it was a turning point in our careers, just to visualise more possibilities and realising that was possibly the climax in the way the band was going at that time.
Yeah.
And now with Relayer, we're starting to wend our way into other kind of things.
Yeah. In the sort of 5 or so years that you've been together as a band, you have survived a great many, I suppose, traumatic experiences that other bands would really have just faded into obscurity. But for some reason, I mean, you and Chris have sort of kept it together, the main sort of nucleus of it. What do you think that is that magic that has kept it together and has kept it going? In spite of all the problems that have...
Well, I'm sure every band has similar problems, and probably not quite blown out of all proportion as they seem to get with us, but possibly because we're pretty well known that a change in the lineup, people start worrying what's going to happen next. But as you said, with Chris, I've had a great 6-year developing situation on many levels with him. And Steve, when he joined, it became a strong structure as we could carry on as a 3-piece, and then Bill was there, and then Alan joined, and he was very, very akin to our way of thinking about music. And finally Patrick's come along, and it just seems a very exciting situation to be in, and we don't feel at all any kind of tremors. It's just a want to get on with it now and carry on making music. But there's always that little problems that crop up in any band that's going.
Yeah, I suppose the media and the press tend to sort of blow it up and make the story out of it.
Can be a little bit frustrating to see things written about you when you know how you feel about the situation. And when Rick decided to leave, we knew we were going to carry on. There's no doubt about that, and we were just looking for someone who possibly understood us a little more.
Okay.
And Patrick is there.
All right, well, let's take a break.
I hope Steve's enjoying this mumbling.
We'll be back in just a second. And to take only one more of your phone calls, I'm afraid. If you phoned up and been hanging on, I'm sorry, but we just really have run out of time. Alex, you're the last call tonight. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Possibly, can I be a bit unfair and speak to John?
Yes, of course.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
I was wondering about the rather wonderful album covers by Roger Dean. I was wondering whether either your music influenced the construction of them, or else the pictures themselves influenced you in your later writing.
Well, when we get into recording, we generally give Roger a buzz, and he comes along, and we start telling him the kind of things we're getting into, and he will probably come along with a couple of drawings, as he did with Topographic. And as time develops, we start to develop the actual drawing that he brought along. And as it was with Relayer, he understood the kind of music that we were going to put on the album, and he came along with the cover for Relayer, and we were instantly knocked out by it. And as you say, he really gets some good covers together for us, and we're very pleased to have him working with us.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Alex, so we're going to see you there on Saturday.
Yes, definitely.
All right, see you then. Thanks for calling. Good night. Anyway, Saturday.
Yes, definitely.
All right, see you then. Thanks for calling. Good night. Anyway, as I said to you before, if you were ringing up on the open line number and didn't get through, apologies for that, but hopefully the band and I will see you at the gig on Saturday. Tell us something about the gig. What sort of things will you be doing?
We'll be playing songs from Close to the Edge, Relayer, Topographic, a few old songs was put together in a kind of acoustic format. And
how long do you think you'll be playing for?
I hope about 2.5 hours.
Great.
Hope so. Yeah.
I know that everyone that I've spoken to has come up to me and said, have you got any tickets for it? And things like that. And I know that everyone in London, as a Yes fan, is going to be there. Everyone's very excited about it. And Patrick, you must be. Obviously.
Oh, yeah,
very quiet tonight. It must be a very exciting thing for you to, your sort of London debut.
Yeah, I'm very quiet of excitement, if I may say so,
Yeah.
Anyway, I love playing in London, and I must say English audiences are marvellous, I mean, as a tour, it's been going so well, and the vibes have been wonderful, The people and the work, the art, and the African styles everywhere, it's been great,
And we love your policeman. Anyway, John and Patrick, thank you. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Bye-bye.
It's been much fun.
Thank you.
And as you leave, do you have anything to say to the people that you're going to see on Saturday?
Oh, it's going to be a sunny day and we're going to have a good time, that's for sure.
Anyway, thanks a lot for coming in, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you.